Hey guys, welcome back to the Castsphere Podcast. My name is John, and today we have back on the show Big Jake Lord. You can find him on Instagram. He's a freshwater spearo based in Utah, and today we're going to cover all the different freshwater spearfishing species you can target. Welcome back to the show, Jake.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me again. Appreciate it.
Perfect. So tell me, let's start with trout. Trout, I love trout. What are the different types of trout you can go for?
So I mean, in Utah, so it just depends on like the different areas or the different states. So Utah and Wyoming I feel like are really the only places that you can shoot trout. And that's tiger trout, brown trout, brook trout, lake trout, rainbow trout. That's pretty much all the trout, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot of them. Do you have a favorite trout?
I shoot more brown trout because I feel like they're a lot dumber than rainbow trout. But my favorite tasting fish is either a brook trout or cutthroat. Those they get bigger and they're juicy.
I don't even know if I've had a cutthroat, but I can definitely agree with you that the brook trout are tasty. They're like sweet, whereas brown trout are
Yeah.
kind of like muddled, I would say.
Well, they're like the meat's completely different. Like a brown trout is almost like that white. It's like a white meat, and like a brook trout and cutthroat they're kind of like that pink reddish, almost like a salmon.
Yeah, give us that freshwater steak right there, juicy.
Oh yeah.
What about lake trout? I don't think I've ever had lake trout or tiger, to be honest.
I've actually never shot a tiger trout, so that's still on my list of fish to shoot. Lake trout, I mean, I think anything over 20, 25 pounds, they're older and they're going to be a little bit like mushy, if that makes sense, just because they've been swimming around for so long. But I feel like anything, under that, they're actually, I mean, I've got an 11-pound lake trout that I shot in my freezer that I plan on cooking up this weekend. That when I filleted it just fine.
Do you have a world record for freshwater trout or IUSA record?
I've got an IUSA for world record for brook trout.
Nice. So tell us about that fish. What was that experience like?
It was 5.5 pounds. It was just like luck of the draw. Like I feel like any world record, I mean, any freshwater world record or just world record in general, like you have to get lucky somehow. And that day, because I had seen in the lake that I speared it at, I had seen like an 8-pounder, and I'm like, that thing is a monster. And it saw me, and it was gone. So then I ended up shooting the second biggest one that I saw. And it's just like, it's way different. Like when because you have to have like an official scale. And luckily my official scale was expired by like 10 days. So I'm like, dang it. So I take it into like a meat market, and I'm like, hey, I need this thing weighed, and I just slap it on their scale, and they print off the ticket. I get my witnesses, and there you go. I've and I'm like, I have the unofficial world record for brook trout, and ended up being the world record. And the funny thing is like brook trout wasn't on the list. Like if you go under like the IUSA records, brook trout wasn't on the list, and I also have the world record for smallmouth, for the smallmouth bass, and it wasn't on the list. So I've realized I'm starting to create lists on IUSA. Yeah, one thing that's not on there that is like still boggles my mind is rainbow trout. Nobody shot a rainbow trout over 5 pounds.
They exist. I think it's time to do like a world record tour, bro. Let's take a week off and just go get them all. It's funny because I think the IUSA, I was talking with Brett because we always go down just dreaming about, oh, what if we could get the world record yellowtail on the pole spear or something like that. And they give you the world record if you, like, based on when you submit it. So we would always be like, all right, let's both get a fish that's of a certain size, and then the smaller guy submits it, and then a week later after it gets confirmed, the other guy submits his. So it's like we could both have it, just for at least a second. Because then you can just claim, oh, yeah, mine was broken, but I got one.
Yeah, and for all of my world records have been in the fall right before winter comes. So my dive partner Chase Ames went and shot a 3-pound brook trout up in Wyoming, and I'm like, dude, you got to wait till the fall. Let's go back up there. I'm like, if anybody's going to break my world record, I hope it beats you,
Yeah, keep it in the crew.
Yeah.
Okay, so that covers trout. What about carp? Do you shoot them? Do you eat them? I hear you can actually eat carp.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a very delicate, not a delicate fish, but it's like with the carp, there's so many of them, and like the big ones are just so bony, and they're just like they're nasty, like they're slimy, like you wouldn't want to eat them. But like a smaller carp, it's totally different. Like I fillet the carp, take both of the fillets. I'm brining it in like salt water and then like seasoning for 24 hours, washing it off, and then and then I use lemon pepper or lemon juice, lime juice, pineapple juice, and then like a lemon pepper seasoning, and I kind of soak it in there for like an hour, and then take it out, throw it on the smoker for like 9 hours at 180 degrees, but every hour of the 9 hours I'm brushing like that same like lemon juice, lime juice, and pineapple juice on the fish every hour for 9 hours, and it actually, like, you'd be shocked, it comes out pretty good.
Are you gonna add this one to Shrek's Spearo recipes book? Because he's been asking for
he
people.
yeah he yeah he messaged me, and I need to get it to him. It's funny you say that.
Did you say you're using what smoker do you got? A Traeger or you got something home built?
I use a Camp Chef.
Camp Chef, cool. That's
So
that's dope. I need to get myself a smoker. That's the next Christmas present I'm hoping the wifey gets me.
there we go.
How about walleye? Walleye taste any good?
Oh, you, you if you haven't caught have you ever caught a walleye on like a fly rod or fishing pole?
I haven't,
Is
to be honest.
is there walleye out there in Cali?
No, I don't think so.
It is one of the best. Like I got some walleye with my other dive partner, the real Brett Layable, and sorry, that's his Instagram, and we called each other by our Instagram names when we were diving in Mexico. And he knows how to cook a walleye. He knows how to cook a northern pike, and he showed me the ways. And I came home and with some walleye and cooked it for the family, and my kid eats it up. Like, he's like, "Dad, you got chicken nuggets?" I'm like, "Sure, it's chicken nuggets." So yeah, so he kind of showed me the way. Instead of using breadcrumbs, he uses planko or panko, and it's like the breadcrumbs that are like a little bit more crispier. But he soaks it in flour before to kind of get all the moisture out. Then obviously does the eggs, the panko, and then puts it in oil. And wow, it is good.
Now you're making me hungry. How
So
about
if you ever get a walleye, make sure to fry it because it is so tasty. Super clean fish. Make sure to get the cheekbones.
ooh, always to get the cheeks. And then how about bass? Do you go for smallmouth,
So,
largemouth?
both, yeah, same thing. Like, so I'm actually currently in Arkansas right now working, and they have some big bass out here. They've got big stripers too.
But you're not allowed to spear them there?
No, you can spear them.
Oh, did you bring your gear?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, dang, we're gonna have another world record soon, guys.
I don't
um,
know. The world record largemouth is like 13 pounds. It's a big fish.
oh, that's huge. And then you said you like to fry them up too, like they're pretty good.
Yep, same thing. Yeah, white meat. Yeah, I'll fry those up. But yeah, like I said, I would take a walleye over a bass any day.
Absolutely. And then the last one is perch. What kind of perch are out there?
So there's like, I mean, crappie, kind of like that panfish category. Same thing. All those fish are good fried.
Have you ever shot a bluegill?
I have actually down in Lake
Yeah.
Powell.
All right, that's some target practice right there.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, like I said, they don't get big, but they're like a swimming target.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like
Yeah,
underwater skeet shooting,
yeah, exactly. I never even thought about that, but yeah.
and they
But
actually
no,
taste
it's
pretty
the
good.
same thing. Same thing out here in Arkansas. They get big. Somebody caught a crappie that weighed over 5 pounds, which is massive for a crappie.
Can't even imagine that size. Are there any other fish you want to cover? Or are we good?
I think that's good. I think, yeah, carp, bass, trout, walleye. I think that's pretty much it. I
That makes.
mean, yeah, I haven't shot any kokanee. We get kokanee salmon in Utah,
Ooh, are you allowed to shoot those?
but from my understanding, yeah, because they're under that game fish, but they are hard to find.
Really?
I guess if you can find the school, you can find them.
I dig that. I'm excited to try your carp recipe. I know there's a guy out here who fly fishes the LA River, so it's like totally fly fishing next to like trash and stuff like that. But he had a catch and cook video of him eating a carp, and I'm like, now I have a better recipe, I think. Smoke that thing. LA smoked carp, delicious.
There we go. Sounds delicious.
All right, guys. Tomorrow we're going to be covering regulations for freshwater fishing. Thanks for being on the show, Jake. Hey, one more thing before you go. If you're on the socials, the Instagrams, the TikToks, the other platforms, follow us. Say hi. At Cast and Spear all over the place. That's at CASTANDSPEAR. I'll see you over there. Chat soon.